Welcome to the Barber Game Podcast. I go by the name of DJ Meek Chops.
Hey, people, this is Mess.
What it do? This is Marcus.
What's good, everybody? This your boy Merv Mill on the check-in, and this is the
Barber Game Podcast.
Yo, welcome everybody this week. We got a guest on. We want to give you guys a general idea of who this person is. It's an 18-year vet, a Grand Master Barber, a shop owner of 4 different locations, instructor, licensed, do braids, fades, colors, cosmetology work, everything. You know what I'm saying? Very inspirational leader, great co-worker, and you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I'm missing anything. Am I missing anything?
Hey, man, I think you pretty much hit it all right there.
Yeah,
that's everything.
Everybody Mess.
Yeah.
Hey.
So why don't you just kind of introduce yourself and tell everybody, you know, where you're from. We can start with that.
I'm Mess. I work at the Kirkland location, formerly Woodinville, and I've been with the shop 16 years.
16
years.
Shout out to that. Huge.
Yep.
And I mean, I was born and raised in Germany. I'm from Stuttgart, Wangen, and the home of the Mercedes and the Porsche. Respect it.
No doubt.
And yeah, and I came here when I was 15. Just straight to Molly Terrace, Washington, expecting Beverly Hills High, but it wasn't that.
You said Beverly Hills High?
Yeah.
Was that your thought when you came from Germany?
Yeah, because when you watch TV,
when you watch TV,
90210, like TV, America, the way America's portrayed, it's either New York or LA.
Right. You don't see nothing else.
Yeah, and then coming to Molly Terrace and going to Molly Terrace Heights was not what they showed. I was like, where's Bayside High? Where's Beverly Hills High?
Right.
What is this? Where's the beach? Where's Malibu?
Yeah.
Baywatch. What is this? This is not it.
Right.
Facts.
So yeah.
What else you got going on? Like
I did Tribe Mondays.
Tribe Mondays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I haven't been active recently, but
And that's just when you do different stuff every Monday.
every Monday I want to, every day of the week has a day like Taco Tuesday, Wind Down Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, TGIF.
Yeah.
And Monday doesn't have one. Monday is always like manic Monday, depressive. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I have a case of the Mondays.
Instagram definitely is depressing on Mondays, you know?
And
Everybody hates Mondays.
And I want to give Monday, a positive outlook.
Right.
So I started Tried Mondays, where I encourage people to try something new on Mondays. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be ideal. It's just for you to try something different.
Something new.
Something new. Whether it's a new recipe, a workout routine, home improvement, whatever.
How they find you on that on Instagram?
On Instagram, it's Tried Mondays.
Tribe Mondays. At Tribe Mondays.
And TikTok.
TikTok. I was
We'll
going to
probably
say
have,
TikTok.
we'll have a
You're
link.
active
We'll
on
have a
that.
link.
Yeah.
Just follow it, click the link.
Try it Mondays.
So, get into tell the people like where you from, what got you into the hair industry and all that.
Oh, well, I was born and raised in Germany. I'm East African, so I'm a German African.
German African.
East African. That's pretty general.
That sounds like the new.
German African,
German,
right?
yeah.
Specifically,
German African.
I'm Eritrean.
Okay.
That sounds like a COVID strand. German African.
Or German chocolate, whichever you like. But yeah. I moved here in 98. And sometimes
98. That's when I moved.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I was 15 and moved here straight from Germany, straight to Molly Terrace.
And you moved here with your family, or?
Well, that's the question of the century, because my mom said she kept telling us she has a surprise for us, and my sister and I thought it was a raise in our allowance, but it was us moving here, and we didn't know.
So much bigger than that.
Wow. So she just took you out to the airport and
She came too. We thought it was vacation. We thought we packed for 6 weeks. But yeah, she
didn't tell you bring some extra stuff,
no.
No heads up.
No, and it was
that's pretty
just
dope the way she did
that's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, low key.
yeah.
Y'all probably wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, she thought that that I would have wanted to go, because I always talked about, I want to be au pair. But
What is au pair?
like a nanny, right? And but it's international, and you exchange the job, and you get to go to school in America, and then you go back. And sometimes it's a year you stay with a family, like a host family.
Oh, so like almost like an exchange student? Type
Yeah,
thing?
but with the exchange of being a nanny. Like
Is that popular overseas? Do people do that here?
I think they do.
It's more people from the outside coming here.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but that's not what ended up. And yeah, we moved here with my aunt lives here, and her family, and
They was already here?
yeah, they've been here. And my sister, I have two younger sisters. So the middle one and I stayed, and my mom went back with the baby, and to tie loose ends.
And you stayed here with your aunt?
My aunt and her family,
That's what's up.
my cousins. Yeah, you know,
So your educational background, what you say you was 15, right?
15. I started high school here.
All right, and then you finished
From
you
high school on.
graduated from
Molly Terrace High School. Woohoo, go Hawks.
shout out to Mount Lake Terrace.
Molly. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I didn't speak English. They put me in ESL right away, and yeah.
So I got a question. You said you wanted to do, what was it called again? The
Au
nanny?
pair.
Au pair. And that was the idea coming here.
That my mom always thought, because I spoke of wanting to be an au pair, that it would be fine.
Okay. When did you want to start? Like, when did that transition
Au
into
pair?
want to do hair?
Oh, hair?
as coming into that.
Hair was never a plan. Hair was a plan B for my plan A.
Okay. But you kind of like showed interest, or you already knew what you were
I've
doing?
always been interested in like braiding, because I started braiding at 11, and I braided my younger sister's hair. I would practice on them, and it was more so trying to figure out how to do it, because I would see my mom do it, and I have like an engineer's mind. Like, I want to figure out how to do something. Like, I like puzzles. I like assembling stuff. So that was it. It was never about the vanity, the beauty, and I'm a girly girl wanting to do hair.
Yeah.
So I started braiding when I was 11, and then when in high school, again, I had an allowance, and I was used to a certain type of lifestyle. So when we moved here, that lifestyle was gone. So I was like, how am I going to make money? So I started braiding the basketball players in my high school, and the soccer players, and
Charging them? Or you
oh
charging
yeah,
them?
of course, yeah.
So it was already kind of a business at that point. Like,
Yeah,
it was
but
kinda
to
already
me,
busy.
it was more so like, I'm
was
trying
hustling.
to.
Imagine
yeah.
they had
Getting-
TikTok
Mess
back
was
then.
hustling.
She would have been
Already,
killing
already.
it.
Yeah,
back
Mess
then.
was hustling. In high
I
school.
was just trying to make
Right.
money.
If they had
That's
TikTok,
typically what you do when you start hustling.
That's fire.
For the definition.
I've gotten an allowance since I was 10. So when that stopped, I was like, I need to supplement something.
And you think it stopped because just the money opportunities, or
No,
what?
it stopped when we moved here.
Yeah, I know, but what?
My
Mom wasn't here?
Yeah, my mom was clearly funding my allowance, and she did it very smartly by giving us like $50 a month in a bank account.
Right.
We had a ATM card, not a debit card, and that's how I was able to spend what I wanted to spend, and
Okay.
not
And
having
when she
the-
went back, that stopped.
that stopped
Yeah.
because there wasn't a bank account for us here.
So then you start hustling, by
Okay.
braiding hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then going from there.
Fresh out of high school.
I was doing Running Start, and I knew I was going to go to college to do law. I was going to go to law school.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I went to Shoreline Community College after that. And then I knew I had a partial scholarship to Pepperdine. And I wanted to, you know, move to LA. I have to move to LA to go to Pepperdine. And I didn't want to just work any, like retail department store shop. So I was like, I know how to do.
While you were in school?
Yeah.
You meant? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to get a trade.
Right.
You gotta do
And-
something, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I can braid hair. And then I found out you have to have a license to braid hair. So I started going to beauty school.
Technically, you had to have a license.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But again, I was here only 15, 18, 19, like 4 years. 4 years before.
And, And so you before you made the decision, you was like, all right, I graduated. I'm going to Shoreline now. This is when you were in Shoreline?
Yeah.
Okay. Shoreline Community College, for people that don't know. It's over in Seattle. So from there, you move on to
Braiding and getting the license.
do you take on that the school in Shoreline or what?
No,
How does the transition happen?
So my mom's like, she was very much against me going to beauty school. So then she was like, why don't you just do the cosmetology program at Shoreline? I was like, I don't want to wait 2 years. That's a 2-year program.
Right.
And then she's like, well, you already enrolled and it'll be cheaper. It will be, you get financial aid already for everything else. And I mean, by all means, I was a rich college student because financial aid was very kind to me because there was 5 people in our family that went to college at the same time. So my mom was like, everything is taken care of, everything is paid, just go through Shoreline. I was like, nope, I'm not doing 2 years. And if I'm going to go to beauty school, I want to go to a specialized...
prestigious.
Yeah, specialized school. And I looked into enrolling at GMRS.
So you withdrew?
No, I looked into...
How did you know that?
That's what I was going to say.
Like, how did you know that there was a specialized school? Did you hear about Gene Juarez at some point?
No, I just started asking questions.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that Gene Juarez was at Northgate from Shoreline, so I took the bus and checked it out. And my mom was like, and there was this 6 months waiting because they enroll every month, and they were
6 month waiting list.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get into the school.
To get into the school. At that time, I don't know now.
Yeah.
But then my mom was like, nope. And I was like, well, I need you to sign this Parent Plus loan. There is no financial aid for this because it's a private school. It's a trade school. And my mom was like, no. And she told my uncle, my dad, and my aunt not to sign either. And I was like, Mom, it's 6 months now. I need to get in. She's like, my daughter will never be a hairstylist. And I was like, well, I understand.
Oh, man, how'd you feel about that?
Hey, yeah, that's probably tough to accept.
I mean,
Well, obviously she didn't accept it.
Yeah, I'm saying you dang, Mom don't even support what I'm doing. Like, yeah.
I get it because when I was in Germany,
She looked down on the...
Oh, yeah, because in Germany, when I was in school, I interrupted the class and my principal was teaching. And he blurted out, why are you even in this class? You're not worthy of being in here. You're not... What did he say? He's like, you're not worthy of being here. Get out of my class. Go back where you came from. And
That was in Germany?
yeah, and my smart ass was like, are you sending me home for the day? What do you mean go back where you came from?
Right.
And then he said, all you're going to be is a hairstylist.
Oh,
So-
shit.
So you
Yeah.
told your mom that,
Yeah.
and then that's what
She wants you to prove them right.
Well, you told your mom that.
Oh, yeah, and she got mad. Of course, she went to school, and in Germany, there's no, laws against discrimination like that. So all she could do is just cuss him out, and he's like, okay, whatever. And since then, she was like, you're not going to be a hairstylist. Because in
That's
Germany...
the one thing I don't want.
That's the one thing she didn't want.
Mess is
Yeah.
like, I got
Well, at least now we can kind of understand why she thought that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Though.
And it's because in Germany, hairstylists and janitors and stuff are lower
But to
careers.
To be fair, you were already doing hair at that point. So he knew you did hair.
No, my principal?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
This is in 5th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was like, okay. I mean, listen, I'm not oblivious to racism. I just take things very literal. So when he said go back where you came from, I really thought I was going to go home.
All right.
I didn't. I did.
Then
my
see
mom,
what he was really saying.
So did
Yeah.
your mom explain that to you?
Yeah,
or
she
something?
did. She did.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay. But I'm a literal person. I take everything literally.
Right. Still,
very much so. That's why I never liked the term "see you later." Like, what do you mean? Do we have plans?
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah. So GMRS happened, and she was very adamant and not signing. And I needed her to sign the Parent Plus loan. That's the only... And I was like, I'm paying for it. I'll pay for it. Like, you don't have to pay for it. And she's like, no. And I reminded her, I was like, I know how to forge signatures. Either you do it willingly or I'm going to do it. So she did it. And I went to GMRS and 3 months.
And what year was that?
2004. January 6th, 2004.
2004. And the program was what, 2 years? Or
No,
a year?
it's 1,800 hours.
1,800
So
hours.
you can finish in 12 months, but they give you a year from the contract date.
Okay.
But you can finish,
But you got to get it done within the year.
yeah, or else you pay $10 an hour that you owe. Yeah.
That's how they do it. Yeah.
And
Makes sense though.
yeah, I finished in 9 months because I figured out the system. And I would come in an hour early, work through my lunch, although they didn't allow working through your lunch, but I would intentionally book someone an hour before my lunch and make it last longer.
Overachieving.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get done.
I know they're not going to take it away.
Yeah, exactly. And then stay an hour late and then work at GMRS salons in Northgate. So I would go from the school to the salon.
Would they pay you during this time or no?
In school, no.
Yeah.
No.
Tips.
Tips, that's it.
Okay.
And then, but I would work
Yeah.
at the salon in
And
dispensary.
you get.
That was hourly.
Oh,
That was hourly. That was a regular job.
Okay.
From 6 to 10. So 8 to 5 and then 6 to 10.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah. And
8 to 5, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. At school. And then you work 6. Oh, okay. Got you.
and then 3 months into starting, once I got on the floor, I never looked back. I didn't want to be a lawyer anymore. I fell in love with what I was doing. And I started thinking about, like, if I become a lawyer, what kind of lawyer would I be? What field would I go into? And I realized no parts of lawyering is worth my morality.
Right.
Because if you think about it, every part of law is
A little unethical.
It's team based.
A little
it's team-based.
unethical.
My team
Definitely.
versus your team.
not
Definitely.
even. It's okay. Family law. You screwing over one parent, then the other.
Yeah,
Maybe
team.
the
You gotta,
kids.
you're the persecutor.
Yeah.
You know.
And then
Prosecutor.
criminal, you might have to defend someone you know that's guilty.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're
so
choosing. You know.
and I couldn't do that, and even as a prosecutor, you don't even get to choose the
yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
You have to.
Just take what's on your desk, huh?
Yeah, and if you have a DA that's elected, or an attorney general that's an electable job, so they're gonna give you cases that they want to win, so they can take on the campaign
Right,
trail.
right.
So I just couldn't do law like
Yeah.
that anymore. And then fashion design was another thing because I liked sewing, but I never liked creating for others. I like creating for myself. Like if I couldn't find something at the store that I wanted, I knew how to make it.
You sound more like crafty and artsy. Like that's really
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
passion.
That's what I was
Yeah.
about to say.
That's
too.
why you got drawn to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Creative. Yeah,
So
definitely.
I got into hair doing that. It was really my plan B.
Okay, so
turning
now
into
you
my
in,
plan A.
you know,
Gene Juarez.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're done with it in January? Or
I
September, excuse me,
graduated.
2004.
And I graduated in November. Well, I got to graduate in November, but I was already done.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
2004, yeah.
But I know we got a little bit of filler space
Yeah.
because I'm gonna just. What made you choose? So was there a choice between cosmetology and barbering?
No, they didn't have the barbering program anymore.
No. So you did cosmetology as Gene Juarez because Gene Juarez is the only stylist. They don't have a barber program there, right?
Not anymore.
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm missing a little time gap right there.
Yeah.
But I still want to ask, like, what made you choose barbering over?
I didn't choose barbering like
you
that.
didn't?
I was a cosmetologist. So I didn't even think about barbering. It wasn't until I had worked at other salon, and the thing is, my motivation to go into beauty school was just to do legally braid. It wasn't.
That's what I say. So maybe you want to fill us in on that little time
Oh.
span
How
from
did
the
we
time
get
you
here?
finish. So that's what I'm saying. So like,
How
How did you basically
became a barber.
the barber and cosmetology
Okay,
industries are two
so
different industries.
it is
how did
very
you
much-
how did you go about
So I then, by the time I was graduating, I was like, I'm going to work at GMRS because I love to color.
Right.
And GMRS makes you choose. Either you color or cut. You
Right.
don't get to do both. So I was like, coloring makes more money. And I like coloring. It's more creative. So I was going to do coloring. Then I went to the advanced training salon to work there. And I got kicked out because I have purple hair. And I couldn't pass the test. The test was...
Was that why they kicked you out literally because you had purple hair?
They
or
said,
are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. I had purple like peekaboos, and I auditioned with the purple hair. I interviewed with the purple hair. I worked for GMRS with purple hair. They colored it. They wanted me to do something more natural or more realistic.
Professional, huh?
So kind of like what you got right now.
No, they wanted blonde highlights.
Oh.
I was like,
All
that's
one
not
way kind of
realistic.
thing. Everybody looked the same.
Yeah, I was like, it's not realistic. And then the test I failed was, the guy that wrote the test it was written based on notes. You had to answer the questions on the test based on the notes he wrote. He's a French guy. He didn't speak English clear. So the notes didn't make English sense to me.
It wasn't translated very well.
Yeah, and even when I corrected it, I got marked down. So that's not.
Of course you corrected it. Of course you did.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, you're a little person.
This test is wrong.
Yeah, I was like the sentence, the structure doesn't make sense. But whatever.
Read it to me, please.
So, then they kicked me out. They said, you can come back in 6 months. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I mean, I was devastated.
And what year was this?
This is 2005.
2005.
And then I found another shop to work at, a salon, which was, commission, 70-30. And
They go to commission.
yeah, and
the
he was a shit show of an owner, the guy that I worked for. He was a junkie, and it was clear. And that didn't work out. And
How long was you there for?
maybe 6 months or something. And then, because I had a friend, my sister's friend, that was like, oh, we need, my roommate works at a barbershop and they need someone to braid. I was like, because I was just doing house calls then.
So it was hearsay. This is like,
Yeah, I was like, okay.
which I knew, but I just because I remember because it was
Yeah.
it was Q, right? Q.
Yeah, it was Brandon.
Yeah, cute,
and then
yep.
he's like, just come with me, because then I can show him what you did
Right.
to my hair. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
okay. And then I went with him for his haircut on a Saturday.
Shout out to B. He's a barber now too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Shout
shout out B. Yep.
And I went there.
Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana. Yeah.
I went there with him on Saturday. Then I ran into Merv, and then he's like, all he asked is like, so you got your license? I was like, yep.
Straight to the point.
And then
Cool, you start tomorrow.
he's like,
Pretty much.
and then you're like, when can you start? I was like, when do you need me? He's like, can you be here Monday? I'm like, yep. Came in on Monday, and that's how it started. And even
rest is
then,
history.
So at this point, you're still just Cosmo. That's
Cosmo,
the mindset.
yeah.
The only
Listen,
braiding
I don't know
mostly,
if
and
he
that's it.
remembers, but I used
No,
to come in with heels.
And that's why I said
and-
those in before.
yeah.
That's why I said
Heels
that
and
before,
jeans.
because I was like, I wanted to make sure. I know there's a gap. If you
Yeah.
finished that September 2004, I know there was
Yeah.
a gap before you picked up
Yeah.
at the shop. So, just to fill that in,
Yeah.
I think we just got the good synopsis of that. So
Yeah.
we wrapped that up. So now you're here with Monday, and you're coming in, and Merv is there. He's grilling you like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and then he wasn't grilling me. He was just like, so what do you do? I was like, I'm a cosmetologist. I can braid, and I can color, and I can cut hair. What kind of haircut? I was like, I can do military haircuts and long layered haircuts.
What you mean? I can do these.
What do you mean?
I can cut.
razor?
This is fire.
cut.
This is fire.
And and I was like, slacks, heels, like just very GRS, like very professional. And after like maybe 2 months, I was like, yeah, I think I can kick those heels. Like,
For the viewers at home, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's just
No,
not a barbershop.
Just
Not
wasn't the
ever.
environment
Not
for it.
no,
Yeah,
no.
not
I mean, no, thank you. And it's because the GRS, they require you to wear a minimum 1 inch heel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just so conditioned.
Uniform.
Very uniform and all black. You wear all black and minimum makeup, mascara, lip gloss. If you have a ponytail, you got to hide the hairband.
And I remember Mess was not the talker.
No,
She making it seem like we had a lot to talk about, but she wasn't talking.
I was very, off guard.
She was straight to the point as well. Like, man, you gonna hire me or not? We ain't got time. Like,
At that point, I really was like, I have this rent due. I really don't want to move back into my parents' house. I can't let her know, my mom. I can't let her know I'm not doing well. I can't let her know I'm not doing well. I can't let her know.
And the other place wasn't doing well.
No, he kicked me out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I had to shake.
Oh, so you're a rebel.
Yeah.
I'm not a rebel.
Okay.
It's just that
Got kicked out. Gene ass got kicked out. I'm just.
No,
That's the only way she leaving. I ain't leaving if you just.
I'm just kidding.
No, the other. It's just it wasn't the environment I wanted to be in, and I took one of his clients when he was one of his vendors, and he accused me of stealing his client. So he kicked me out. That's what that was.
That's a bad situation.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, now I'm just doing house calls. Fuck, this is not what I wanted to do. And when Brendan took me to the shop, I was like, this is what. God, I mean, what's worse?
what else?
What else? And then, for 3-4 months, I was
I
like,
think so. When you started, what was it? It was like me,
February.
Q. I think it was just me and Q there, right? Or
and Faja.
Faja was there too.
Yeah.
Faja was
so-
already there? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if Faja was there, but
no, he was.
I thought he came on later.
Because you had told me we start here at 10. However, everyone has different responsibilities daily because they were responsible for opening the door.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, I knew you weren't ever there at 10. And it was either Q or Faja.
Threw you under the bus.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that.
Okay. Well,
Ran
it
you
was
over.
either Q or...
Again, she did say we had responsibilities.
Yeah,
So
it was you or Q. I mean, Q or Faja. That's
Okay.
how I remember.
Okay.
And Faja at times was late too, so I was just standing outside, and it wasn't even a booth rental situation where, you know how you get a key once you're full booth rent.
Right.
It wasn't that. It was just I didn't have a key during that time because to be honest, I wasn't cutting. I wasn't busy like that, you know? I mean, I was there 10 to 7, but...
Mess was a soldier.
Yeah, tell
I'm telling
the
you,
details.
man. From what I can remember when she first started, she didn't want to cut. She didn't want to fade. She just
I was
didn't
like,
want to.
I'm a cosmetologist.
So look, now I do women's hair, I do color, I do braids, I do all that. So y'all can send that to me, but y'all cut here.
Yeah.
Like, y'all do that. And as time went on, I think you gradually just started getting more clients braiding.
Yeah,
like,
but
it
I
actually
wasn't-
started working for you.
Yeah, but then I was like, $200 a week is not enough. Because braiding wasn't every day.
Right.
It was the same 5 people.
Right.
You know.
Supporting you. Like,
Yeah.
They was
and
getting the crispiest braids.
Yeah.
So we taking our time.
Yeah.
to make this last.
And then the cutting began because I would send them to Murph to get lined up.
well, that
Tag
came
team.
later after everybody left, right?
Yeah.
So everybody was gone. But
Yeah.
that first, what was it, about 6 months? Or,
6 months.
I think about 6 months she went through just showing up to work every day, man, and not even cutting, not making a lot of money, but she was there. Somehow she pieced the blueprint together, man, and made it happen.
Yo, that's crazy. I don't know if I could last 6 months.
No,
6
no,
months?
Mess went through
I don't know
that
if I could last 6 months.
for sure.
I was determined that I cannot
Most definitely.
fail at this.
Most definitely.
To prove a point,
Like-
look, I got a job. It's over.
Like-
You see what's going on.
Like when I think of the word endurance, and when I got to put it to a person, I would say Mess definitely had major endurance going
Nah, that's
through
crazy.
the
That's-
beginning. So that's why when I see people now, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
bro,
not trying
You
to
ain't
do
even
this.
really
y'all don't
trying.
understand.
understand,
You
man.
ain't even
Like,
trying.
Yeah, like
For real. Nah,
so,
that's crazy.
and then she didn't talk a lot either.
Yeah.
So people had to kind of like almost
Nah.
Yeah,
get with Mess, like
Y'all got a braider? Or
Yeah.
right there type?
and it
Dang,
wasn't.
like-
And honestly, I've never been in a barbershop before.
Right.
I've never had to go to a barbershop, so the environment was new to me. It was different, and then I understood like, oh, jokey's happening here. I have to joke the same or right back, and and then think about it also. This is 20. Oh, how old was I? 22, and I was just in this
06,
country
2006.
7 years. I didn't speak English in high school. I'm just learning everything in college. Then there's slang and there's like content. It it was just very overwhelming
A
in
lot
that
at one
way.
time.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna add. I think we had like 3 braiders prior to Mess starting there anyway, so they was
Dang.
coming and going anyway. So I didn't know.
Falling like
I didn't know
flies.
Yeah.
what this was gonna work out like.
Yeah.
And she showed again. You can move on to the next phase because
Yeah.
like she said, eventually she got into a place where she had to cut.
Yeah.
Because we went through a down spiral without barbers.
Situation, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without personnel or whatever. And it was just me and Mess in the shop for like,
Oh wow.
I don't know. When I got back, I had an incident.
Yeah.
And so, I was out of the shop for maybe about 2 months, right?
Yeah, about.
I came back early, maybe 3 months.
You came earlier than you should have. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
And then-
you were like, I can't line them up anymore. You're gonna have to line them up.
Yeah.
I was like,
The people you braid and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do their
Yeah.
hair or whatever.
Because he was trying to fit those in between
Yeah,
your haircuts.
yeah.
It wasn't like
Right.
you
So
cut,
she'll
you line
braid
them
them.
up.
because
Yeah.
at that
braid 'em.
point we couldn't do appointments.
Right.
We could only do walk-ins.
This
'cause it
is
was-
06
it.
now.
Yeah.
06,
Yeah.
07.
Yeah.
And then
06.
I start lining up, and then he's like, "Just you're already there. You're already there. Just learn to cut." I'm like, "No." And one day, I think when
busy as hell.
It was very busy, and I was like, I could be making more than 200 right now.
She was sitting there staring at me like this all day. This.
I was like,
this is
so,
What am I doing right
Chopping,
now?
bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Chopping.
yeah.
Who's next?
And then
crazy.
I was
going
like,
crazy.
Two
Cleanup man.
Two different heads.
Cleanup man in that joint.
and then at that point,
Man, we had 13 people waiting, man, and she's sitting.
Yeah,
So I was like,
yeah.
yo, Mess. Start with a.
And it's
with an
almost
all
like
even.
come on.
What you
you
getting?
see,
What you
Start with
you
all
see you
even.
be doing this.
You got to try it now.
She
Yeah.
got you.
You probably looking at the clients like you got that. You
Yeah.
could do that one.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Even all over? Got you.
and
I'm
then,
asking them as soon as they walk in, what you getting, man?
hey, influencing all even, right? You doing all even?
We doing half off on all evens.
And then, and then one day I surprised him with showing up with clippers. I
Right.
bought clippers, and I just
Yes.
looked at what he had at his station, and I copied and pasted. And then he was surprised, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll learn.
That showed a major move.
Yeah.
Never
that
look
was
back, 'cause
that
I-
was
Initiative, for sure. That's
that was a
huge.
major initiative, and
But I was watching other barbers. Like when Q was there, I was watching
right,
what
absolutely.
he was.
No, yeah.
And then
watched-
he was surprised at how quick I learned. And I was like, no, I've been watching. I
Yeah.
just didn't have anyone to practice on. Or I was just too shy to do it,
Yeah,
And-
so once you start cutting, now you got that going. How was it in the beginning, like building clientele, like with the guys not trusting?
Yeah. That was a nice one. Kids were my friends. Because people would send me their kids,
Right.
And they would try. It's funny.
Okay.
They would want the best for themselves, but let's throw the kid to you, see what's gonna happen.
Now here's the thing though, like once you have a kid in your chair, like now people can kind of see you cut, and then they're like, oh okay, she's okay,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then they feel comfortable. So like once
Yeah.
I got someone in the chair, you got to have someone in the chair, right? You know?
Exactly. And then sometimes we actually would do this little prank where he would cut the client's hair, and I would stand behind the client and pretend like I'm cutting their hair.
Yeah, they jump out the chair.
Catch us
Like, wait, hold up, man.
They ain't no mirrors. They can't
Yeah.
see you.
But stuff like that actually got Miss patronized too. Like at some point, man, people just wanted to just support her as well because she
Yeah.
was just there.
Once
Her
they learn her,
resilience-
like you know,
her
Yeah.
resilience
Yeah.
literally made people just be like, man, I'm gonna get.
Let me
cut by
see.
Mess
Let me
today."
see.
Man, Mess was in there taking clients after a while.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's
Straight up.
hard, like, to come into that environment? Like, I feel like as a woman to come into and trying to build, but it was just you two, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
at
No.
first.
It was more barbers in there when she
Okay.
started.
When I started,
Obviously.
yeah.
So it's like
Q
to
was
come
there.
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like coming into
This is before
trying
me-
to build, trying to be the
This is
new
that's what I'm saying.
braider.
You're also the only female in there. This
Yeah.
is before Me Too movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of it. I have to say, I never encountered a Me Too situation.
Perfect.
And if it happened, it probably flew over my head.
Okay.
Because I'm a literal person.
See what I'm
And
saying?
it just did. And also, I didn't I didn't give into it. Not give into it. I didn't allow for that to happen. I didn't let people talk to me any which way anyways.
Right. So do you feel like you kind of had like to have that like persona to be like, well, I'm strong, and then anything that's gonna happen, because there's a lot of women that I feel like are in that
I have a lot of views when it comes to Me Too situation. However, for me, it just didn't happen because I guess I'm around respectable people. And also, I feel like sometimes you have to...
I think you did a good job drawing lines, really.
That's what I'm saying.
Just drawing lines.
Yeah, I drew lines. I drew lines. I never talked about my personal life. Ever. Yeah. I don't talk about my personal life.
Yeah, I don't think you hang out with the barbers.
I don't hang out with the barbers. I just knew I couldn't. I mean, at first, when it was just a couple of us, it was easier. Yeah. But then when it grew, you can't do that, you know? And not even just a gender thing. When you are a manager, if you're of authority figure, leadership role, you cannot hang out with the people that you're leading. Simple.
All the time.
I think on some occasions. Yeah,
some occasions, maybe. We're not going to dinner afterward. We're not hanging out like that. You're not coming to my house.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, that's from her perspective, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In leadership role, and also as a girl, like
it's understandable.
As a girl, if I were to hang out with you all the time, and then let's say you have a significant other, it's just gonna be weird and awkward, and I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to defend anything. Unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't want to. And then also, there was a time when someone did say something out of the way, and I'm very good at ignoring someone.
Yeah.
Mika. And no, I'm just saying, like, there was a time that me and you didn't get along.
Yeah.
And
no, we had a moment.
Well, with the barbers, with your own team, I'm sure you went through some stuff too, right?
And then, as
being an authoritative figure, I guess a little bit.
Yeah.
Like probably even being like more booked and just seeing that every day and just being.
Oh yeah, some barbers did not like that either.
Almost like a greedy, you know.
Yeah.
And shout out to the team now.
Yeah.
No, not everybody.
You know, we worked through this. A lot of those guys don't even work at the
I'm sure you encountered it. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And the thing is, I took a lot of my leadership roles from how I was raised. You know, I don't have kids, but I would see a lot of stuff is relatable, you know. So I have 4 questions I ask myself. What would Jesus do? What would my grandma do? What would my mom do? And what would Kris Jenner do? Meaning rich people. What would rich people do? In a sense of when you're in a bind of something.
Would you fly off the handle or?
Yeah, how do you handle things? You know, how do you handle things? What would Jesus do is my morality. What would my grandma do is technology, time, because she had to deal with things differently than we do, technology-wise, right? And when you didn't get to accessibility and stuff. With my mom, it would be rules and stuff, right? And Kris Jenner, I just use her as a reference for rich people. When you need something, and how do you get there?
Yeah.
How do you get there? Like, how did they get to?
When you need something done.
Yeah.
How do you make it happen? Just make it happen.
Make it happen. How? So.
That's what's up.
That's what That's
a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I mean.
I'm gonna have to look at things a little bit more like that. Hey, so moving on, the next phase of kind of like now you're in the shop, you got everything going, you feel like everything's going well.
Yeah.
Right? Then you get the opportunity, I guess, later. We can follow your timeline. Yeah. Did we miss anything up until that point?
No.
Because I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to skip anything because I feel like.
Yeah.
It was just,
I feel like
we didn't skip nothing, right?
No. I think
so where we at right now?
I think we're at where it's starting to get, everything's starting to come together. Yeah.
In the shop.
In the shop. Mm-hmm.
So Merv's like already where he's at, and then
I think
now we start
2010
filled. No, I said the shop's starting to get filled up, right?
Yeah, the shop started to get filled up, and we
started getting them athletes coming in too.
Yeah.
Seahawks, and like that. We had a.
You went through the transition from the little business within the business.
Yeah.
Not little, but
tattoo.
the business.
Tattoo. Oh my God. Yeah, the tattoo shop.
The water.
That was all.
The water.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
A lot of different.
Stuff going on.
Basically, it was just a lot. Right when I was like, it's working. Something else is happening work-wise. And I just remember I was 25. It was the month before my birthday, and I had like a mini, I guess, crisis, because I was like, I've been working so hard. I have nothing to show for it. I'm about to be 25. Yeah.
When she went and got the...
I was like, I cannot believe I have nothing
that's
to
the
show.
Honda, huh?
Yeah.
The Honda.
And I was like, I need to. I can't be 25 with nothing. And I was like, if I don't get a car by my birthday, it's over. I'm not getting nothing. I'm not worthy of anything. And I got my car for my birthday.
And you named him Bob.
Pulled up.
I did not name him Bob.
Oh.
He was named Bob by the dealership. It was Bob Renton Honda. And the license plate had big old gold letters.
She called it Bob when she came into the shop.
Yeah, I was like,
Meet
Bob
my new
is here.
friend, Bob. What the fuck you talking about? This guy.
Yeah.
But it was brand new.
Yeah,
she did her thing.
Yeah.
She did her thing.
Still got that joint, still running.
Yep.
Fire. Yeah.
How long after that did you get the Duster?
The Duster was in
70. What is it? 60?
No, it's 1970 Plymouth Duster.
1970.
Yeah.
That's a little too much stunting. That's a little too much. No, I'm just kidding.
It was
When
in
was it?
2014.
Oh, okay. So that was
2014.
a while left.
7 years later.
Okay. All right.
I got
Side
mine.
note. But
Yeah.
so moving on, you got Bob. Everything was going good.
That was my accomplishment.
2010, I think you made reference to. Was
Yeah.
when we expanded.
To Linwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the first expansion happened.
Right.
And then it was again, when we get comfortable at the shop, something
Yeah.
happens. And Merv had the idea of expanding to Linwood. And that meant
Me leaving.
him leaving,
Which meant
me,
something different for you.
Stepping up.
yeah, me being,
So running the shop.
yeah.
Because she
and-
was there the longest.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
She was the one.
Yep.
And I was like, what do you mean? Well, I don't know how to run a shop. Like, what is this? And he's like, no, you can do it. I'm like, okay. What does that mean? And he's like, you can do it. You can do it. You can call me anytime. You can do it. I was like, okay, I guess. And then I was like, well, how am I gonna? Of course, we had hiccups of how to run the shop. The shop is easy to run. It's the people. It's the personalities
so-
that is
Yeah,
hard.
this is when I was in the shop running rampant. I'm 22, 23.
that was
Yeah.
Drinking.
Miguel was
doing
turned
the
up.
most.
Yeah, and
trying to get
Everybody was
instruction
young.
was difficult.
Everybody was
I
young.
mean, everyone
The whole
was young.
squad,
Yeah.
The whole squad was young.
We
so.
all were in our early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah, trying to
know?
receive instruction at that point. Like, what do you mean I got to do this? Recessions going on.
Yeah.
People losing houses. I'm like,
Yeah.
I remember
crazy.
at some point, Mikael was saying he ran the shop.
Oh
didn't
yeah, he did. Oh, forget running. He owned it.
he? Oh, he owned it.
He owned it.
Yeah. He was running shit. No,
y'all
but-
gonna be in Pelican Bay. I had my Denzel moment.
Yeah.
that's cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was all of that? Like,
That was learning something
You
new
ironed all
again.
that out eventually. Like,
Eventually, because when I talked to you, because I was getting frustrated, they weren't listening. And then you said, Mess, these are guys. I'm like, yeah, I know. And you said, these are guys that are self-employed. I was like, okay. He's like, don't tell them what to do. Ask them. Make it seem like it's a favor. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, don't tell them to do their chores and take out the trash. I was like, okay. Like, tell them, like, hey, do me a favor. Can you please take out the trash for me? I'm like,
I'm not sure if it was said exactly like
No,
that,
it
but
was.
I'm sure it
It
probably
was.
was. I'm sure it probably was. That
And
sounded like something that I would have probably said back then. Back then.
and
Right.
and
There's
it worked.
different ways to go about that.
No, but it worked because men are
It
different.
doesn't sound as bad. Doesn't sound as bad.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh,
and
yeah, I'll do you a favor.
But you still get it done.
Yeah.
you getting it done, and it was more so.
That shit wouldn't work for me as well.
Oh, it works every time. Calm down. the thing is that it worked.
What? How the hell you gonna tell me that works for me?
The calm down.
He's saying if
The calm down.
The calm down is like
It works as well.
Relax.
It does work because it's the
negotiate.
approach.
I negotiate with people.
It's the approach.
There's a difference.
It's the approach.
Asking and negotiating is different.
It's the approach that worked for me. I think when you ask someone,
Right.
and especially when they already feel like I'm self-employed, I don't have to do anything.
Bottom line, yeah.
It's the approach that when you change it,
That's one of
it
our
works.
biggest hurdles in
Yeah.
this business,
Yeah.
period. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody bosses, so you really can't just...
And then also
demand
the guys didn't want to be told by a girl.
That's another...
What
That was like extra.
That was the constant
But if
issue.
you ask
Yeah.
them, they
That
might
was-
be like, I'm helping her out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you look
I'm
like
gonna
the
have
knight
to play
shining
damsel
armor,
in
yeah.
distress.
Yeah,
You know?
Knight in shining armor.
So
I can go to sleep tonight.
I did a good thing.
yeah, so it's stuff like that would happen, and I would have to just adjust every time because no guy is the same as the next guy.
Right.
What works for this one may not work for that one.
personalities thing.
The personalities, exactly. So it would be that.
Nice. So, moving on, you guys hold the Woodinville shop down. We're doing very well in Linwood now. Marcus on the squad at that point.
Yeah.
We're doing things, and I think the opportunity for South Center came about.
Yes.
And then that's when we decided to expand again.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that includes both of you.
Yeah.
Well, I know it includes both of you. But this is your first shop now. You opening.
That you gave us the opportunity
and
to
it's 7
be part
years in,
owners.
right? You 7 years in. You started, what,
Yeah,
six years?
6 years. No, 7.
From 2006 to
13.
2012.
13.
12. We have 12.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I keep it? Okay.
no.
It's 12.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
12.
Okay, so
January
6 years.
actually 12, so it was
yeah.
like right at
Because I remember the very first day was a snow day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like everybody
Yeah.
was snowed in.
Yeah.
Snow showed up.
Yep.
Nobody came.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was 6 years then. And got the opportunity to be part owners. Again, a new hurdle and something new for all of us.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to navigate besides just being part owner. You know, what did that mean?
And another level of just commitment and bonding and, you know what I'm saying,
More
loyalty.
people. Yeah. And then he's like, I really need you to be part owner. Like, you should be part owner. And I was like, ugh, okay, sure. And
No, it was good.
yeah, and the reason I say sure is because I didn't know what it meant
Yeah,
for me.
right,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been doing this for this long. I mean, what's going to go wrong? Nothing can go wrong, you know. So that happened, and then 2013 is when Everett opened.
Correct. Right. Following year.
Yeah, following year, and that's when I went back home to Eritrea, and came back to a new shop, and we communicated during my trip. And
fresh set of eyes too.
yeah, and
I'm
I'm
sure
like,
that was like a whole.
oh
experience.
yeah,
And you was able to go there a little
that
bit
your
more.
first time?
You was able to be
Go
there.
ahead.
You was able to be there a little bit more hands-on, considering it was closer to Woodinville.
Yeah, Everett,
I know you
yeah.
used to live like fairly close to it, right?
Yeah.
At the time, so you used
Yeah.
to pass it.
Yeah, and I was there. I would come in on
Yeah,
Sundays.
you'd pull up and you'd be like, "Yo, what's up? How
Yeah.
you looking?" Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So
that, and then I think learning about Everett, and then I was coming into working in Linwood as well, because we had lost people in Linwood, and then I was working once a week in Everett and once a week in Linwood.
I love how, like, just for the people that don't understand, like, she went from not even cutting hair, you know what I'm saying, to, like, now pivoting.
Yeah.
You know, not leadership, no ownership, none of that. She runs a shop, and now she's pivoting, doing the same role that she's doing at her main shop, which she's there 5 days a week, braiding, cutting, and all that other stuff. And she's doing this at these other locations as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, just mental note.
Legendary.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so. And then,
All
I
right,
don't know.
so, you know, from there, you know, we go, 2014, we keep opening up shops for the next few years. I think eventually what comes to a point is, I think you started working with more females at one point, right?
There was a couple.
Was ladies or women that wanted to work at the shop. Mm-hmm. How do you women get along in the barber industry? How do you feel about that?
Merv, you always try to make it seem like I'm the problem. I am not the problem.
Listen, I don't think you get along with.
I get along with people. I do get along with people. Mm-hmm. People have a problem with themselves when they don't get along with me. It's like I do get along with people. There was no.
So what do you think in general? Like, what is usually the problem? Why do females
women have a? I don't think they have a problem. I don't think.
Or what is it?
I like any other barber. I feel like sometimes people are not honest with themselves.
I tend to notice that women that work in shops, they don't want another lady working in the shop as well.
I welcome it. Please come in. I need someone else to talk to besides guys all day.
Right.
However, sometimes I don't think the women, again, understand what it takes to work in a barbershop. I think I made it very easy for you guys.
Give them some advice.
I made it very easy for you guys. Like, first of all, don't cry in the shop. Stop crying in the shop.
Yeah, no crying.
Like, we had girls crying when they were struggling with a haircut. Every haircut, crying.
Just broke down.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm like, I have zero patience for that.
Gotta be tougher than that.
Tough skin.
Yeah, and then they couldn't handle the joking. They couldn't. It became offensive to them.
They wanted special treatment.
Yeah, you can't have special treatment. Don't open yourself up for ridicule and criticism.
I was just about to say that. Because like sometimes you invite that chastisement. Yeah. Like if you sitting there roasting me, now when you're on the hot seat, I'm going to get you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get mad at me. Like, what the heck?
And if you don't want that attention, don't come in here wearing things that you shouldn't be wearing. I intentionally have my uniform. My uniform is mom jeans, a hoodie, and my smock. I intentionally wear that work attire. Yeah. First of all, I'm going to trust the same jeans that don't give me splinters, and I just don't want that. For me, I don't want that attention. I don't want clients talking to me any sort of way. Right. I don't want barbers talking to me any sort of way. So therefore, I'm not going to even open it up. I'm not going to give you a reason.
Right. It goes back to how you were talking about how you act with them, with your coworkers.
Yeah. I don't talk about sexual stuff. I don't joke like that with them. I never open it up that way.
You feel like that's been some of the downfalls of a lot of
the girls
that work at you.
They would get comfortable, want preferential treatment. They want to be still treated like the girl, the friend. Some of them would hang out with the other barbers outside of work.
Yeah.
And it just would go too far, and they would bring it in. The conversation would come in from what happened last night. And it just, you can't do that.
Slippery slope. It's
very.
It can be unprofessional, and you get caught into that.
Yeah. So that's my advice. Like, just understand what environment you're in. If you're going to be outnumbered by men and you work in a male barbershop with males only, you're the only girl, you're going to have to, adhere to the personalities that are there. You can't
What would be some of the benefits of being able to work at a male's barbershop that you feel?
For me?
Or just in a barbershop in general. You know what I mean?
I think it toughened me up, and I've always said working here made me more social. I'm shy around new people or people, and it made me open up. It made me think differently. I understand men much better, and in conversation even with my friends, I can explain to them like why X, Y, and Z is not working with the guys around in their lives. Yep. It got me to understand men much, much better.
In a male-dominated industry, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Do you feel like you made more money because you're a female? Once you got to it?
Got any advantages?
Yeah.
No, I could if I wanted to.
Right.
No, because also the same men would not trust me cutting their hair.
Well, in the beginning, but once I'm saying,
even still today, yes,
that's still going on with you.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like not
even it just happened yesterday. Like guy was because I cut his son first, and I cut him. Mind you, he has a full-on like monk he has a baldness in the middle.
Said monk.
And and his receded hairline on top of that. He wants to taper. He's like, "Can you make me look presentable?" And I always fight the urge with my comments because I would.
You want to roast?
No, I do, but I was like,
I know.
because whenever
It's
they,
like we all see the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like,
Like,
what
Yeah.
the hell? Like,
It's like, what kind of question is that?
yeah,
What
like
is
can
it?
make.
what do you think it's going to look like at the end?
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing to say is, I cut hair, you do the rest.
I'm not a
You're
magician.
You're responsible.
I just cut it. You style. Do whatever you need.
But and he's like, yeah, you good? You need to stretch. You got this. Like, can you handle this? Da, 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 da. Or do you need time? I'm like, nope. I cut hair.
That's insulting.
It's just, it's always like that. It's that you can ask the barbers that work with me that see it and like, you sure? Do you know? I'm trusting you. I'm I'm like.
oh my gosh.
I'd be like, how long you been cutting?
So
I just started.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Just
She's
got
a
here.
Grand Master
Yesterday.
Barber at the shop.
Just got
Yeah.
here.
Only one with a, only one with a white
Or-
smock. Like,
Or they would come in or be like, I think I'll go. I was like, go ahead. Go with the new guy. Go with the new guy.
Little do you know.
Yeah.
I'll be right over there fixing it. But
And she comes over. Let me see that.
but yeah, it still happens.
Just pat
so
him on the back.
All right. Let me go ahead and get that real quick.
dang.
yeah. So
All right, well.
it happens. It's sometimes it's fun.
Do you
Really.
feel like you got everybody familiar with who Mess is? I mean, is there anything we missing?
I would say
Anything you
honorable
want people to know?
mentions. Any shout outs? Anything
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because exactly what she didn't want happened, and I understand why.
You know she's gonna listen to this. I'm just.
I mean,
I have a question. How does she feel now?
yeah, I was about to say.
That's a
yeah,
great
I was
question.
just like-
16
That
years
is a really
later.
good question.
whenever,
After you're a homeowner and business owner and
Yeah.
she still says,
Still.
I would still say no.
Oh my.
I was like,
oh, now she's being stubborn.
no,
So
I
there's
know.
no changing
you know
your mind
that.
about that.
Must be a tourist.
No,
No way.
because she just didn't want his words to come
You
true.
could have
What's the
100
birthday?
shops doing.
But you know what I
doesn't
like
matter.
to tell her? No dig at my sisters, but I am her most successful child. I tell her that every single
Little
time.
shot. Little.
Bing bong.
Shot.
Bing bong.
You also got to tell her you're not a hairstylist, you're a barber.
No,
I
it
do it
makes
all.
no.
But you're a hairstylist, too,
But it
so.
makes no difference to her, and I get it. It's okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But and at first I would tell her too, like, listen, I love what I do. At the end of the day, I have to live with it. It's when you're long gone, I have to be happy doing what I do.
Definitely.
For 10 hours a day.
Definitely.
So your mother didn't tell you what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Sometimes they're just old fashioned and they just see
I
it
get
how they
it.
see it.
I
And there's no
get
telling
it.
them any differently, you know?
No, I accept it, and it makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
But I get where she's coming from. I don't hold it against her at all. But I say thank you because it was my motivation,
Right.
Not to
Fueled the fire almost.
Yeah, exactly. To not let this flop.
Got you.
That's
Simple.
dope.
Yeah.
right. Well, think we good to go then.
All right.
We'll catch y'all on the next one, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. Like,
Thank you,
comment,
man.
subscribe.
Pyong, pyong.
That concludes this week's episode. Tune in next week and check us out at thebarbergame.com.